Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 2 in this series here on Aquilon Waste. STC falling behind Crank in game 1 after a very impressive early game. That was perhaps one of the most exciting StarCraft 2 games I have cast and seen in quite a while. A lot of back and forth action, and you really didn't know who was going to win. An all-in attempt turned out to be another 10 to 15 or another like 10 minutes of gameplay. It just felt like the game was always 2 to 3 small moves away from going in the other direction. Now, what's going to be happening here? Crank on the bottom right-hand side of the map as the red Protoss player. Meanwhile, on the top left-hand side of the map, we have STC as the blue Terran. TVP once more, this time here on Aquilon Waste. And what will the strategies be? Now, it's always very important to note the map in terms of... It's always important to note the map and in terms of what strategies you may or may not see. Now, in the old days during the beta, I know stalkers and mothership cores really like blinking up this ramp, but that early pressure style seems to have been really dealt with rather quickly. Now, what we may be seeing from STC is perhaps a Reaper expand, and this is something that I really like. I'm not 100% sure if that's what we're gonna see, but early Reapers early on do a lot of just map control and a lot of map awareness. On top of that, what happens is if you build a reactor on the barracks to start, you don't need your follow-up supply depot, as you won't be supply blocked. Am I right or wrong, though? That is the question. Are we going to go for an early Reaper, or are we going... It is just going to be an early Reaper instead of a reactor first. And this does allow that Reaper to wander around the map a little bit faster and force that probe to get away. We are going into a supply depot as well, meaning that we are not going to be seeing a command center down here for a little while of time. Are we perhaps going to be following up with another a factory, or are we going to be seeing something else? We are going to have an engineering bay, though, by STC, making sure to block his opponent's natural expansion. This will delay things for just a bit of time there. Engineering bay, perhaps the highest hit point building that only takes 35 seconds to build. It has a rather large footprint as well, as that SCV is going to try and get away, and it gets away with 5 hit points. Engineering bay, 750 hit points, no armor, will take a little bit of time to be destroyed, and it will delay his opponent's expansion. Alright, Reaper now looking to jump up inside here, and does take a little bit of damage from that mothership core. What was it doing? It could have gone anywhere, but it instead went back down, and now gonna perhaps go after the Zealot. Has taken a bit too much damage now, and I thought that what could have happened was that Reaper could have jumped in here, gotten some probes, forced the probes off the mineral line, or gone after the Zealot. It actually kind of got confused halfway through the in between, and didn't do either, which ended up hurting him even further. STC does cancel that engineering bay, gets back 94 of the 125 minerals, as he's already 20 or was 25% done with that command center already. Alright, a bunker now being placed down, and this is more of a knee-jerk move to try and stop oracles. We saw what the Oracle did in the previous game, and that Oracle really slowed him down tremendously. We are now going into a quick starport as well, and this is a bit of a surprise. STC going 1 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport, and with 1 of each building, he may be trying to send out maybe perhaps 2 Marines, or Marines and Widow Mines there. He salvages his bunker already, as the mothership core is right there. There you see it. The Marines are there as well. The mothership core needs to get away, and it will be able to do exactly that. Double training up Hellions. Medevac going to be trained up as well. Where is that Widow Mine? I thought I saw one earlier. Not 100% sure where it is. The Reaper now still wandering around the map here. And there is that Widow Mine right there, just in case an Oracle does decide to show up to the party. 1 shot, 1 kill. Crank already has his natural expansion up and running. Meanwhile, Orbital Command nearing completion, should lift off and land here in just a moment. STC cannot fall behind economically. If he does, that will be very bad news for him, as the medevac already on the move to try and elevator up some of those units. You can see there is an observer right there. The Hellions, the Marines are going to spot, or the Hellions and Marines are going to be spotted by that observer beautifully, as the Reaper is just wandering around here. And is it going to get off some shots? There you have it. There is that double forge wall there, as the Reaper is still able to get away. No, decides to stick around a little bit too long. And now we are going to be going into a fight. All right, there you have it. There is the photon overcharge once again. And Crank just dominating this with that mothership core, able to constantly defend. Here you have 4 Hellions though running on in, and are we gonna get some old school kills here onto those probes? It looks as though a handful of probes have fallen, but nothing to really balance out the cost or the return on investment there. There's a Widow Mine shot, but only takes down a Zealot. And with that, the aggression and all of the crazy tactics are over. STC is now finding himself a bit behind at a very, very early stage in this game. Crank, what is he going to be doing next? You can see that he's just actually, he's actually all right with trying to be a bit on the defensive end. All right, we do see that an observer is here. There is perhaps double Hellions looking to drop on in, and there you have it. There are the Hellions. The probes, however, already responding very quickly, and the Hellions now will wander back again, and the Hellion is looking to get off some shots, does get another one there, but still hasn't done much of anything. This Widow Mine has gotten 2 kills so far, looking to perhaps get more and more, as the observer is now there, and yes, it does get shot down. Medevac on the top right hand side of the map. We'll see where it regroups to. Marines and Marauders are all ready to go. A third base by STC already being built in position at the 9 o'clock location, as a medevac now once more looking to do another drop somewhere. He needs to get damage, and he knows that he has been the aggressor throughout this matchup, and normally aggression does win you games. You cannot just sit back and hope that your opponent makes mistakes, but Crank isn't doing that. Crank is defending like none other, keeping track, keeping focus, using photon overcharge, using time warp when he needs to, and really balancing out the energy on that medevac. You can see the Marines, medevac needs to get away again. You can see that range on that photon overcharge and just how effective it is. All right, a warp prism by Crank could warp in a handful of units and then pick them up, drop them all off over here in this dark area off to the side. Orbital Command already being upgraded. You can see Marines. Oh, what is this? Zealots are right there. The Warp Prism is there right now. And what is happening? It looks as though the medevac... Oh, there you go. It is going to try and shoot it down. This could be huge. Zealots are just dropping out of the sky. And is it going to finish it off? Yes, it will. Those Zealots now caught on the far side of the field with really nowhere to go. 75 supply versus 82. Crank has a much larger bank. Zealots are now wandering the field, hoping to take down some units here. And what is going to be that play? All right, it looks as though, yes, the Marine is going to spot that here, and now the Marauders are going to try and engage. There is an observer. The medevac needs to heal up that Marauder, and yes, some proper micro taking care of that location there. Stalkers, sentries, zealots now making a move out across the field. Crank warping in a nexus. A new pylon being warped in here to reinforce at the 12 o'clock position, as the medevacs are now just running all the way back here. Are we going to even see this location get any minerals? First SCV at the third. Meanwhile, Crank is about a third of the way completed for his third base, as we're now going into supply depots and also another bunker here. Archons, Stalkers, Sentries still wandering around. Warp Prism ready to go, perhaps trying to do a drop. An armory strategically placed over here, making sure that nothing or early scouting could be done. a Zealot right there, an Observer just outside of scanning range, beautifully placed by Crank, or a poorly placed scanner sweep, not quite sure, as STC now once again moves out with this medevac, hoping to do a bit of damage. However, Stalkers, Archons, and Sentries do have other plans for that medevac. Yes, and there it goes. Easy way to lose a whole bunch of resources in just a matter of seconds. Alright, it feels like everything is going Crank's way every step of the way. Getting that photon overcharge, intercepting medevacs, proper scouting. Things are just falling into place. Meanwhile, it looks as though, wow, a little bit of spider sense, realizing that Zealots were on the way. The orbital command is now going to be perhaps switching locations to this location here, as the Zealots are going to run pretty much run a mile. Well, I guess that's not even a mile, unless that Zealot is running very, very quickly. Yeah, that running just all the way across the map here, only to realize that there was a small liftoff, and the command center is no longer there. Crank has the right units. Photon overcharge. Crank can still chrono boost out more if he needs to, if he wants to. You can see 18/24 supply here, as now Zealots dropping straight inside the base. Gonna go ahead and take down the Warp Prism. There is a Ghost there as well. The Ghost is very, very expensive, as the Ghost could focus down Zealot after Zealot. And is it going to clean it up? Yes, it will. A whole bunch of SCVs are low on hit points, and it is now all cleaned up there. STC, perhaps realizing that he didn't have enough medevacs in the previous game, starting to get more and more. What is happening next? Vikings now on the move. Marauders, Marines, Hellbats on the move. And here you go. Everyone is rolling out, as the medevacs are about to engage in perhaps what may be their game-changing fight. Marauders and Marines, 2-2 upgrades, but they are now going up against Colossi. 2 Colossus already being trained, extended thermal lance range, ready to go. There is 1 Viking and 1 Viking only, or 2 Vikings only, as the Ghost should be able to get those EMP shockwaves off and down quickly. Alright, are we going to perhaps see a double snipe? Oh yes, double snipe straight up onto the onto that High Templar in just a second. There's the Marauders and the Marines, and there's an engagement. However, we could be seeing some Psystorm, Photon Overcharge. There's a scanner sweep, and there is a lot of engaging already going on. The Ghost did get off a nice EMP shockwave, as we are now still finishing off a lot of these units here. Alright, Crank trying to retreat with all of his units. It doesn't look like it will work. However, there is still a 2,000 hit point cannon to deal with. High Templar is now coming in from the other side. Double snipe, followed by a Psystorm, and wow, that was cleaned up nicely. Crank getting a Psystorm down just in time to tip things in his favor. That one High Templar, an MVP of that battle. He won't be getting any awards though, since he didn't survive, but I'm sure the Protoss army greatly appreciates it. 3-3 upgrades now being researched. Mothership Core, extended thermal lance range, Colossus, Starport. Now another Starport being added here, as we are lifting off the main base, even though there is still gas remaining into them, to try and take this third base, or what was originally the third base location. 4 mining bases, as STC. SCVs are now just repairing a whole bunch of units here. SCVs, they will get down into position, and the Zealot is just going to engage against them very, very easily. 2-2 upgrades, and that Zealot is going to get some easy shots. And now charging back in once more, this Marauder going up against a Zealot alone. Nope, medevac is right there. The Marine just encouraging him, cheering from the sidelines. And I think that will be it. Yes, that will be it. Double Hellbat drop all the way. Looking to get in some damage here. Is it going to do anything? It looks as though, yes, there is the medevac. And now there is the Hellbat. However, the Hellbats, how much damage are they going to do? Are they going to really be able to do much of anything? The probes are now trying to get away. And there is a big burst of damage there, taking down 2 more, as we're now looking at a Psystorm from the high ground, which by that High Templar, beautifully done again, as the High Templar just goes, you know what, I don't even need to engage you, I'm just back over here. And are we going to see another Psystorm? No, we are not enough energy. STC once again has the supply advantage. We are looking at a whole bunch of Colossus now massing up. Viking count is on its way up as well. Protoss army now taking the supply lead by 10 and double training those Colossus. But as more Marines and Marauders and Vikings are being added, Mobius Reactor being added as well, EMP shockwaves could really slow things down. An instant 100 damage burst across all shields really shuts down Colossus and Zealots, removing all their shields. Archons particularly vulnerable to it as well. All right, another medevac drop may be coming in. You can see that the Hellbats are there, ready to go. There is, however, one photon cannon in position, which should slow things down a bit. Zealots now running around the far side. Vikings should spot all of this. Marines are there, trying to get in some shots. And is it going to do anything? The handful of Zealots here could be a bit of a problem, as we now see Hellbats trying to clean up this natural expansion. It looks as though, yes, all of them will be able to, or most of them will be able to survive. Worker kill count 18 to 9. 18 workers killed this time around, but Zealots just warping in all across the map, causing problems. The Vikings just hoping to finish off the Zealots here, as the Warp Prism now looking to reinforce, not going to be able to. The Zealots, however, still hold a very, very key position inside the base, forcing all of the units to return back home. There you have it. And also taking down one of those key reactors. Zealots still wandering around here. Vikings do spot Colossus. This could be a very bad engagement. Archons are right there. The Vikings, however, don't know about that many Colossus. They might have just tried to straight up engage there, trying to flank around the rest of the units. STC now up to 11 Vikings. The Vikings have 1-0 upgrades, as we are now going into level 3 weapons upgrades and shield upgrades once more. Colossus count up to 7. High Templars are now ready to go. Here you go. STC could start warping in more units. Start building more missile turrets to stop the warping in of units there. But there are so many Colossus. That high Templar got a huge amount of feedback. That position is just huge. That High Templar getting in some easy shots there. And what is going to happen? There is some EMP shockwaves, and that was a lot of damage to be had. All of those Colossus, Zealots, Archons pretty much out of energy, as the High Templars should perhaps get sniped here. Why are they not getting sniped? All right, there is some potential to get sniped there. The Ghost now in full retreat. Zealots gonna make their way through this backdoor set of rocks, as the Marauders and the Marines are arriving to the party. Now gonna try to focus down the Nexus before the Archon or the Photon Overcharge. Photon Overcharge does come online. The Colossus need to get focused down here, and it looks like a last Colossus will get taken down. Meanwhile, Zealots inside the third base will get cleaned up. We do see a sensor tower, and STC once more spreading units and spreading buildings all across the map. 176 versus 174 in terms of supply. Losses slightly higher for the Protoss at this point, but this is still anyone's game, as the losses and the momentum is fluctuating greatly. Alright, problem right now for STC. He needs medevacs, and lots of them. Take a look at this army here. If you see their hit points, they are not at full life, and I see a whole bunch of hit points. That is the problem. We are going into a planetary fortress at the front door. You can see, oh, there is a warp prism looking to warp in, and it is going to warp in to Dark Templar. STC does not know about those Dark Templars. You can see them now wandering around on the inside. There goes one Dark Templar. This Dark Templar just outside of range, gonna get shot down there. Meanwhile, a Dark Templar here may have a very, very good time at an SCV party, swiping away all of these SCVs. It looks like he's already gotten 5 kills and counting. Ghost, are we gonna get the double? Oh, there is the kill. Very, very easily done. Are Dark Templars considered psionic? Do they have the psionic keyword? I don't know. I know they don't have energy, but they could have the psionic keyword. No, I can't tell if they have the psionic keyword because, well, Blizzard expects casters to know everything. Anyways, let's go head back over here. Psystorm raining in on the center portion there. Ghost isn't going to be able to get the EMP shockwave before it gets taken down. At least that equipment is still functioning, as we are now looking at another Psystorm coming in. This is just a giant psionic storm that this Protoss army has been able to conjure up time and time again. But it looks like the snipes are finally coming into range. Alright, High Templar now at maximum energy. Ghosts are ready to go and engage against those High Templars. Marauder up on the high ground here. The Psystorm could be coming in. Where is the engagement? Oh, there is the double snipe. Are we going to see an EMP shockwave? There goes another Zealot there as the Ghost quickly deactivating their cloak to try and maintain a lot more energy. SCVs here perhaps should be on auto repair. We now have 5 medevacs, but many of them do not have any energy at all. Zealots have found themselves inside the third base again. It looks as though they will all get cleaned up, but not before the Zealots now trying to hit up the natural and also hitting down over here. Dark Templar is going to get cleaned up. There it goes, as SCVs are building missile turrets and trying to make sure that this does not happen any longer. There goes another round of units, and the losses are just climbing and climbing. A huge engagement here at the 8 o'clock position. That base will get cleaned up, and Crank, finding his opponent away from a key location, takes down a base and at this critical junction. Alright, Psystorm still raining in on all of these units. There's another EMP. Vikings now making their way over, and this is a problem for all of these units here. They are in a strange location. Scanner Sweep did reveal them coming back in for just a moment. Zealots now engaging here at this third base again, and STC is losing a lot of this. He may be going for a last-ditch effort, maybe trying to finish off everything else here. Marauders, Marines, there is another engagement. The Vikings need to focus down the Colossus. It looks like they will be able to focus them down. Is it going to focus down the last couple? It looks, no, they are not. There's still 2 Colossus left, and that fight is now pretty much over. 100 supply difference between these 2 armies. Crank should take this series 2-0 over the STC. A lot of close battles back and forth, but all of that Psystorm, all those photon overcharges for zoning effect, and there is the GG. STC losing this best of 3. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it.